Hello, welcome to Go Natural English Tips. I am your American English speaking coach, Gabby from GoNaturalEnglish.com. I am so excited today to bring you advanced English phrases that will help you to level up your English for the new year. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a lot of fresh energy, great motivation to improve our skills. In fact, I have been exploring new learning areas such as photography, storytelling, jewelry making, and much more. And I've been doing it from home, online. Yes, because now is the time more than ever to learn from home. And I've been doing this on Skillshare. And I'm going to show you how you can get a free 1-month trial to explore thousands of classes on Skillshare from thousands of amazing teachers. So no matter what you're interested in, you just join Skillshare. You can get your first month trial for free by clicking on the link in the description. Just open up the description in the description box and you'll see a link. You can click on it to get a 1-month free trial, and in that time you can explore all the thousands of classes. Whatever piques your interest or your curiosity, the world is your oyster on Skillshare. Now this is just for the first 1,000 people who click on the link and join Skillshare. So don't miss out. Click on it already. Join Skillshare and then come back and watch the rest of this video because I'm going to share 50 phrases that will help you to level up or advance your English in the new year. So, are you ready? Okay. On the fence, let's just start there. On the fence means undecided. So, if you're not on this side, yes, or that side, no, you're on the fence, it means that you're not sure. You have not made your decision yet. All things considered. I love this phrase because it's also the title of a famous radio program on NPR, National Public Radio. All things considered. I highly recommend that you try listening to the radio show to practice your listening skills in English as well. But all things considered is similar to saying, in summary, I think. It's like to introduce your opinion. All things considered, I think this year is going to be amazing. So that means that I've weighed the pros and cons, I've considered the negatives and the positives, and all things considered, I think this year is going to be awesome. At the end of the day is another similar phrase. I'm going to introduce some phrases that you might use interchangeably because I think it's easier to remember when we learn some phrases that are similar. So at the end of the day means in summary or in conclusion or to emphasize a point. If I want to emphasize my opinion, all in all. Doesn't that sound nice the way it can roll off your tongue? All in all means, again, in summary. So all in all, this is going to be a great year. Now, the next phrase, for the most part, is a little less enthusiastic. It's a little less, or more than half. I think that more than half of this year will be great. All in all, I think this year will be great. So all in all, again, is like in summary. Now, another one for doubt is it's a gray area. So if you're not sure about something or there's some confusion, it's not black and white, yes and no, true and false. There's some confusion. You can say, that's a gray area. Sometimes when we're asking how a rule or a law applies to a situation, we could say, that's a gray area. For example, you probably know about Airbnb. There's a lot of new questions about how Airbnb applies with the law or how the law applies to Airbnb. And in contrast, we have crystal clear. It's crystal clear. Crystal clear means there's no doubt. It's a yes or it's a no. Very clear, no gray area. For me, it was crystal clear that I should take a productivity class by my friend Thomas Frank, who created this class on Skillshare called Productivity for Creatives. Build a system that brings out your best. So I'm all about systems and schedules and making time to be creative and productive. So this was a class, one of many that I've taken on Skillshare, which I mentioned at the beginning, that has really changed my life. It's changed the way I work. It's changed the way that I create. And so if you're a creative, or if you're just looking to put more structure into your days, especially if you're working from home. I know, so if you want more structure, organization, and guidance really for studying at home, I would recommend checking out Thomas Frank's class as well. So it's crystal clear to me. It's crystal clear. It's obvious. Let's get to the meat. What is the meat of this meeting or this class or this book? Let's really get direct and talk about what it is we are here to do, which is to advance our English speaking. So let's continue with more phrases. I'm gonna go a little bit more quickly because we do have 50 phrases to get through. So to crash is to hit, but to crash somewhere is a bit informal, but it means to stay over, to spend the night somewhere. So I'm going to crash at my family's house for the holidays. I'm going to crash at my friend's house this weekend. Again, it's a bit informal, but you should know this usage of to crash at. To crash somewhere can also mean to arrive informally. I'm going to crash that party. It also means maybe I wasn't invited, so it's a little bit funny. Have you heard of the movie The Wedding Crashers? So they show up or they arrive at a wedding informally and they weren't invited. So it's kind of funny. You can't go wrong with means it's always a good choice. You can't go wrong with learning. It's always a good choice to invest in your own education and your own knowledge and skills. It's something that no one can ever take away from you. To make it work. Despite challenges, despite difficulties, we're going to make it work. To be honest, whenever you try to achieve something, you will have challenges. And the bigger your goal, the more skills you want to learn, probably the more challenges you will have. So let's be realistic. Let's expect some challenges. Let's expect that maybe you might, get a little bit frustrated at times, and that's normal. That's okay. We're going to make it work. Now, similarly, to make ends meet. To make ends meet means that you have a tight budget, maybe not a lot of money to spend, but you make it work. You make your budget work and you find the money to cover your expenses, or you come up with creative solutions. Maybe you're trading something, or maybe you find a free trial, like I mentioned, of Skillshare, and you make ends meet and you still reach your goals. To make do is also a similar phrase. To make do is to get by, which is another kind of advanced phrase, but to make do means that you're doing fine. Maybe you have some challenges, but you're still achieving what you need to achieve. You're paying your bills, you're paying your rent, you're making do, you're completing your work. What on earth? Or you could even say how on earth or who on earth? Who on earth is calling me? I got a call this morning and it said no caller ID on my cell phone. And I thought, who on earth is calling me? So you can use this phrase, who on earth or what on earth? And if you're exasperated, you can say, that's it. I'm tired of these no caller ID calls, these scam calls, these robot calls. That's it. I've had enough. If you want to express an opinion, but you want to be kind of polite and indirect, you can say, some may argue that. Some may argue that it's better to turn your cell phone off so you don't get these weird calls. I find that we can use this to express an opinion more formally, maybe in a meeting. I find that it's better to turn your cell phone off during classes, during meetings, and then you don't get these calls that interrupt you. To handle something or not handle something. Are you able to handle all of your work, or are you overwhelmed? I am handling it just fine, I'm making do. Or I'm not handling it very well. I think I need a hand to help me handle it. To get into something. You might have heard me talking before about what it means to be into something. We'll talk about that in a second, but to get into something is to explore a new hobby or a new skill. So lately I've been really getting into sports that are in nature. So like I've been getting into kayaking, I've been getting into rock climbing, I've been getting into mountain biking. What have you been getting into? So to get into is to start to get interested in, maybe to try something. So what do you want to get into this year? What are you into? To be into something is to already have an existing interest. So after I've been mountain biking a few times, which I've been a few times, so I can say now I am into mountain biking. To miss the point means it went over your head. You didn't understand. I missed the point. Could you please repeat that? Or I missed that. Could you help me? Peace of mind. Now there's two different kinds of peace of mind. There's peace, like calm. I really have peace of mind. I feel like everything is taken care of. I feel good. I feel calm. But there's also to give someone a piece of your mind means to tell them how upset you are. So I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. If you're not nice to me, it means to fight with someone. Let's talk about some requirements. If you are looking for, let's say, a new hire in your company, if you're a hiring manager, or maybe if you're looking for someone to date, you might have a checklist, at least in your mind, of qualities that you want in that person you're looking for. So do they check all the boxes? To check all the boxes is to say that this person has the qualities that you are looking for. Conversely, if you see red flags, a red flag is a warning symbol, meaning this might not be a good match as an employee, as a partner, whatever the red flag may be. Maybe it's that they were late or something else. It means watch out, danger. That's a red flag. Let's talk about icing on the cake and a cherry on top. We'll explain these both at the same time. Two birds with one stone. That's another idiom that maybe you already know. But icing on the cake and cherry on top both mean a bonus, an additional benefit to something that maybe you weren't expecting. So maybe you bought something and then you got a bonus gift. That's a cherry on top. It's the icing on the cake. It's not the reason why you made this purchase, but it sure is nice. You know, when you get like a little gift, like sometimes, I go to buy makeup and I get a free travel size of lipstick. Oh, well, that's a nice cherry on top. To be worth it means something is valuable. The benefit outweighs the cost if something is worth it. To be worth its weight in gold means it's extremely worth it. It's very valuable. Maybe I got a good deal. It's worth its weight in gold. It's extremely valuable, priceless. Having a good social network, community, friends, it's worth its weight in gold. In fact, it doesn't have a price. To sweat something means you are stressed out about it. You're anxious, you're not feeling good, you're very worried. To sweat something. There's a phrase, don't sweat the small stuff. Don't get stressed out about little things. And it's all small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. So basically, relax, don't worry, it's gonna be okay. To freak out is more casual. To freak out means that you are stressed out, you are sweating something, you are freaked out, like very anxious, very worried. Something is not making you feel right or calm. I'm freaked out because I missed a deadline. I am sweating because I missed a deadline. Sketchy and iffy. Sketchy and iffy mean pretty much the same thing. Sketchy and iffy mean kind of doubtful, like you don't think you can trust someone that looks sketchy, or a sketchy or an iffy situation is not something that you want to bet on. For example, I think this bridge crossing the river looks sketchy. It looks iffy. I think that bridge might break any moment now, so let's not walk across it. Let's be a little bit conservative and careful. It looks iffy and sketchy. To look like means to resemble. So that bridge looks like it could break at any second. Hey, you look like that movie star. You resemble that movie star. It looks like it's going to rain. What do you think? Have you checked the weather? To a T. You have completed this assignment to a T. It was perfect, 100%, A+. You look just like that movie star, to a T. It's amazing. Off the charts. You've done an incredible job. Your work is off the charts. The stock market has grown so much. Its growth is off the charts. Or if you want to say that the stock market has gone down, you could say plummeted. It has plummeted today. A fraction of means a small amount. So maybe you have an easy day at work. You have a little bit of work to do today. You could say, I have a fraction of the work that I usually do. Hey, that's great. I can finish early. To be bound to something is like to be committed to something. If it's written in stone, it means it's like a contract. You're bound to do this thing. You committed to this thing. Or you could say it's not written in stone. We have a lot of flexibility. Are you bound to some specific travel plans this year? Are you traveling somewhere? Is it written in stone that you will travel? Or do you have a flexible plan this year? Is it just open, no plans yet? To be down to has a lot of different meanings. So the main one here we want to talk about is to be down to the wire, or to be down to some qualification. To be down to means there is something specific that you are comparing, and this is the last qualification. For example, if you're hiring a tutor or a teacher and you're comparing two different people, the last item or the most important item that you might compare would be maybe a free trial class. So you could say, it's down to, or my decision is down to who does the best trial class. So it's down to means that the deciding factor is this thing that you decide, the trial class, for example. I think this is very practical. It comes down to is very similar. So it comes down to who does the better trial class. It comes down to, or it is down to. To have on hand, I always like to have some extra food in my pantry on hand in case I can't get to the grocery store, in case I'm extra hungry. What kind of things do you like to keep on hand? To that end, and on that note, when you want to add your opinion or speak up and join a conversation, use these phrases. To that end, or on that note. If you want to chime in is another great phrase. But let's say someone's talking about how much they like dogs. You could say, oh, on that note, I have a dog. No such thing. There is no such thing as a free lunch. No such thing. There is no such thing as a free lunch. No such thing. There is no such thing as a flying pig. But when pigs fly is a famous phrase meaning never. All's well that ends well means the ends justify the means. Meaning that if something ends in a positive way, you reach your goals, then it's okay. Whatever challenges or difficulties you went through, it's okay. I hope you enjoyed these 50, actually way more than 50 because I added some along the way as they just came to mind, as they came up. So I think that as we talk here, as you listen to Go Natural English tips, you're gonna learn a lot. And just understand that English learning is a constant exploration. Keep exploring, stay curious, and continually grow your vocabulary day after day. Practice a little bit each day. Learn more and more as you go. And hey, if you're ready for an advanced English experience, I highly suggest that you get that 1 month free trial at Skillshare, because you can study other things that you might be interested in English.